You guys, I kind of saw this. I saw this story on oh, there we go. Hold on, girl. I was like, oh, I need some water. I need some water. I got it. 1 second. So I saw this story. I believe this is the right one on Instagram somewhere, and somebody ended up adding me, and I was like, boy, I had just screenshot this a few days ago, honey. So I think I do have the right story. So let's go ahead and talk about it. It's am I the asshole? Okay. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my husband for lying to me about my sister and her baby leaving when I actually kicked her out? Okay. I hope this is the right one. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure. Yeah, I think this is. If not, we just gonna flow. It don't matter. Whatever. All right. So this person says, my sister, who's 20, okay, got out of a terrible relationship and moved in with me and my husband and brought her 5-month-old son. She's dealing with a handful of issues from PPD. What is PPD? Oh, postpartum depression. Okay. To depression. Okay. I asked my husband if he'd be okay with her moving in, and he said absolutely. Not just this, but he was the one who picked her and brought her to the house. Okay. He picked her up and brought her to the house. She stayed for 2 weeks and helped around the house. My husband started complaining about the baby crying, but a newborn is expected to cry, especially at night. He said it causes him stress, although I suggested he put on earbuds. He suddenly told me to forget it, and so I did. Now, last week, I had to go out of town to attend a friend's funeral without my husband. He said he wanted to stay with my sister to make sure she's okay. Girl, I done read enough of these to know something ain't right. He can't go with you to the funeral. He want to stay with the sister and a hollering ass baby. Really? Okay, let's keep going. Okay. I returned home the next day and didn't find her or her baby home. My husband said she contacted a friend in another town and wanted to move with them and left that morning. He ain't killed nobody. The girl did y'all see what I'm saying? Not so. Wait, girl, he done murdered somebody. This ain't right. This is some Lifetime stuff. My husband said she contacted a friend in another town and wanted to move with them and left that morning. He handed me a letter he claimed was from her, but your sister would have called just like she called the first time, right? But your sister would have called like she called the first time, right? To ask if she can come stay with y'all, right? And you mean to tell me that you're going to sit up here and accept a motherfucking letter from your sister? It ain't a man in this world or a woman that could tell me my family member that left town and gave me a motherfucking letter. They wouldn't even have time to give me a letter because I would have been calling. So I know you're not going to do this today. Let's keep going. All right. What else? She says, this felt so odd, especially after reading the letter. I called her phone many, many times, but turned out my husband found it. Oh, that's my alarm. Sorry, y'all. I forgot. I thought I cut it off. She says, this felt so odd, especially after reading the letter. I called her phone many, many times, but turned out my husband found it and said she must have left it behind. Girl, your sister gone, okay? Something ain't right, okay? And your husband done did it to her, okay? Because Oh, you next. I think if this is going where I think it is, man, I think you're next, okay? Go out of town again. It might be your funeral. I don't know. But let's keep going. I was worried. I had no means of contacting her to make sure she was okay. I contacted relatives, but they knew nothing. So you're going to sit up here and trust your bald-headed husband? Girl, let's keep going. All right. Yesterday, I got a call from an unknown number, and it was her. Oh, sister called from, okay, so she ain't dead, y'all. She ain't dead. I thought she was out of here. Okay. We talked and she told me that she didn't leave on her own, but my husband kicked her out after after telling her that she was no longer welcome. Oh, shady boots. So why would you, first of all, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. I do not understand. So if you kicked her out, so you kicked her out and kept her phone, but then wrote a letter that it was coming from her. This is the weirdest ever. Okay. What else she says? We talked and she told me that she didn't leave on her own, but my husband kicked her out after telling her that she was no longer welcome and she needed to take responsibility for her decisions. I was in shock as she explained that she's not with a friend, but at a shelter and she has no money. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the rest of this, girl, because this is crazy. All right, she says, I waited till he got home and I blew up at him. He admitted he faked the letter and hid her phone, then argued that it's his house too and he has a say. But he shouldn't have lied to me about my sister and causing her to be homeless. He said I was a sister. What the hell? Oh, he said I was being unfair and wrong to lash out at him for wanting peace in his home. I went upstairs and refused to argue anymore. She says, I told him I'm going to pick her up tomorrow. And he said he changed the locks while I'm gone. Now he's finna change the locks on you, Suan. Girl, I cannot. All right. I'm thinking of going to a hotel, but he kept saying that I'm letting my sister affect our lives by prioritizing her. But there's a baby involved, my nephew, and I can't leave him homeless. I get that it's his house too, but I don't see why he's so against her staying. Then I am wondering if the baby's his child. Let's keep going. He returned home and we started arguing again. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm going to stay at a hotel for tonight. Am I leaving for tonight? I'm leaving in an hour or so. He is wanting to talk again now, but I'm incredibly overwhelmed and stressed out and need some time by myself. I don't care if he's going to change the locks or not. I'm working on meeting up with my sister as soon as possible so we can talk more openly about what happened and hopefully try to figure something out. Okay, so that's all that I have right now, but interesting. What are you guys thinking about this? Oh, somebody said not where I pay bills at. Ray, you mean like the sister couldn't come to your house either if you paying bills at the house? He's done other shady, crazy SHI too. She just left that SHI out because ain't no motherfucking way. Probably so. She probably wanted to speak on just this situation in particular. Did something sexually transpire behind homegirl back? Because attention is unnecessary. It is. All because you can't take a baby that's crying? Child, I guess. Oh, somebody said, no, I'm not leaving my house, period. She could have sent the Uber to the sister to come to the house, though. Excuse me. Like, girl, F what he talking about. I'm going to send you an Uber right now. Go ahead and come on back to the house, girl, because when he leave, I'm going to change the locks on his ass. But I feel like the husband did kind of have a point a little bit, right? When he said that you are prioritizing your sister and you're changing our household and stuff. Because I kind of feel him on that. Like, I live here, I'm trying to accommodate your sister, but at the same time, you're not going to have your sister intrude on my damn space. Now, I understand that there is a child involved. So I'm going to give her a little time to get it together. And I do feel like he didn't give her enough time to get it together. Maybe this argument would have made more sense down the road. Maybe a few months down the road, it probably would have made more sense. Like, okay, girl, are you trying to get a job? Are you trying to do anything? Let us help find you some daycare resources or something. Like, come on. And maybe it wasn't a bad thing she went to the shelter, because the shelter gonna help you, right? I would think they probably don't want you there the whole time, so they probably would at least try and get her some help and some child care or something, right? Thank you. You took her phone and she has a newborn. Like, yeah, that was crazy. Oh, he was being selfish. That's a baby. Yeah, that's true. That is a baby. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It ain't his baby, but maybe it is, girl. He's selfish. Okay. Okay. Oh, you are so, yeah, okay. Y'all got a point. Okay. Y'all got a point. Yes, ma'am. Somebody say exactly. The sister isn't ruining the marriage. He's ruining the marriage. Okay. So there's that. Great points here. He did initially agree. And then now you want to sit up here and renege because you can't take a baby that's up here crying. But I bet you if it was his family member, Okay, he'll be going all kind of crazy. Okay. Not the marriage being over before the baby and her arrived. All right. For y'all other people that's watching the playback, honey, go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments down below as we go ahead and we switch over to some other This Is Messy, okay?